So the best radio from experience is the Cobra 29 LTD Classic, and the way to configure it really, you have
what the hell's hold up here?
You have a little arrow right here. It's very hard to see it. That arrow right here, and you need to bring this needle to it. And the way to move that needle, you have to hit the mic. While you're pressing the mic, you move this right and left. And so to do that, you set it to CAL for calibration. And now, when I hit the mic, that needle moves. You see, and it's right on that thing. But if you want to see how, if I move the dial, watch how the needle moves right and left, right? So what you want to do is, you want to first set it to channel 1, and then you're going to do it for channel 40 as well. So while it's on calibration, press the mic and bring that needle all the way to that arrow. And then go to channel 1 and do the same thing, 40 and 1. See, it's right on it. So now your SWR should be in the green. Now if you press the mic, the needle should barely move. See, it's not even moving. Like here, see, I'm pressing it. And that red light right here should go red when you press the mic, and the light underneath it should not light up, which is your antenna. If it lights up, you have a problem with your antenna. So this is now configured. So you go back up and go to channel 19. And actually, if you even go to the SWR on channel 19, the needle should barely move. See, it barely moves. That's good setup. And the red light here doesn't light up for the antenna. And this is it. So now, if you go up, can I have a radio check?
No! Negative.
Well, thank you for the check.
Yeah, that's working, driver.
Yeah, so...
Bounce, please reach insufficient funds.
So now this delta, leave it in the middle. RF gain, this is how sensitive it'll be. So I leave it on like this. So dynamic, this is the mic. So you wanted to have it in the center at a minimum. I have a really good mic here, filters out the noise, so I bring it all the way up. And you can ask a friend how do you sound, and they'll tell you. So that way they'll hear you clearly. And that's the volume. Now this thing, the squelch, this is... See, the more you go down, you'll hear everything. So if you don't want to hear white noise, you keep bringing it up till it stops. But of course we got this guy talking, so here, let's go in this channel. See how you hear the white noise? Go up. As soon as the sound stops, that's the right setting. And that's your volume. So let's go back to 19. And that's how you configure this thing. Now for the antenna. The best antennas are the Neilson 2000, and I tried them all, believe me. They're all good, they'll work, but this one really like gives you a better range, I find. And see, this is the Neilson 2000. So it has 3 pieces. So I'm gonna call this the lower piece, and then the ball or the coil, and then you have an upper piece, and then the wire, the antenna. So lower piece, coil, upper piece, and the wire, or the antenna. I'm just gonna refer to them like that. So it comes, the lower piece comes with a smaller one, like the one I have, and then a longer one. Always put the smaller one, because if you hit branches, it's gonna break up the antenna. So I put the smaller one, it becomes stiffer, like stronger. And the coil, hook it up, and then the upper piece there, I also choose the smallest. So now that way it won't break. Okay, you want that coil and the lower and upper as close to your mirror or wherever you're mounting it, and it'll give you stronger leverage. Now the wire or the antenna on the very top, that's what you need to do. What you're gonna do is first you're gonna come to the radio, okay, and of course you're gonna do the calibration like I showed you before for channel 1 and 40 here. So that needle comes on that little arrow right here. So if it is on that arrow, right there, that arrow, then you're good. So when you go to your SWR, because your antenna is not calibrated and you hit the mic, that thing is going to move a lot, but that's okay. Okay, as long as this red light doesn't light up, that means your connection to your antenna from the radio all the way to the antenna is good. There's no breakage. If that lights up, you gotta figure out where it's not connected. But assuming it doesn't light up and this thing moves a lot, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take that antenna, that top little thin thing, you're gonna unscrew it, that top little thing up there, and then cut 1/4 inch to make it shorter. 1/4 inch at a time, and you gotta do it to both sides. I got like another one on that side, right? If you got just one, then you just need to do it to one. But if you have 2 antennas on each side, like me, so you gotta pull both of them and cut 1/4 inch and make them equal. Make sure they're equal and cut 1/4 inch at a time. And then put it back, tighten it and everything, and then come here on the SWR and hit your mic. And if this thing moves a little bit less now, so then take the antenna, cut another 1/4 inch, make it even shorter, put it back in, both of them, and then hit it, and eventually you'll see this barely moves. That's when you stop. That's when your antenna is calibrated. So basically you're going to keep cutting it shorter. And the reason why you go 1/4 inch, because if you go too much, that's it, you can't add to it, right? If you go too much and this thing moves more than what it used to be, then that means you went too much. So you got to cut little bit by little bit, and you're going to see this thing going to move a lot. And as you make the antenna shorter, it's going to move a bit less. Your goal is to make sure that this barely moves, like in my case. See, it barely moves. And of course, when you do calibrate the antenna and everything, make sure that nobody on your side. It's best to be by yourself, far away. If there's trucks beside you, it'll throw you off. It'll throw your calibration off. And this is how you do it. So let me know if you have any questions, and hope that helps someone.